Hi ADHD friends, ready to become Gutsy Cooks? Let's start now. Hi Gutsy Cooks, today we're making pulled chicken barbecue sliders. These are really yummy, and I'm also going to show you how to make your own barbecue sauce from scratch. This is made in a crock pot. If you don't have a crock pot, I'll let you know how you can make it in your oven. The great thing about crock pots is they are specifically designed for intense attention. You dump everything in and you walk away. Perfect for us as having ADHD. So I'm excited to share this recipe with you. Let's get started. Gather your equipment, your ingredients, and yourself. Here are the equipment and ingredients you'll need for pulled chicken barbecue sliders. I'm going to read this for our visually impaired friends. You can either pause the slide or let it run. I usually give some tips and tricks along the way. First, you're going to need your crock pot, a medium mixing bowl, a spatula, not a pancake turner, a spatula, little bowls, measuring spoons, whisk, liquid measuring cup, a teaspoon, just a regular spoon out of your drawer, a dinner plate, 2 forks, and tongs. The ingredients you'll need are 6 boneless chicken thighs, barbecue sauce, and slider buns. If you're going to make your barbecue sauce from scratch, then you're going to need a 12-ounce can of tomato paste, 1 teaspoon of garlic granules, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and 2 cups of water. Get ready. If you're using bottled barbecue sauce, you can skip to the combine step. If you're not, and you're going to make the barbecue sauce from scratch, then open the can of tomato paste and add it into the mixing bowl. Then I want you to measure the rest of the barbecue sauce ingredients into little bowls. Combine. Here we have our ingredients to make the barbecue sauce. You're going to add 1 cup of water to the tomato paste and whisk slowly until the water is all incorporated. You can see here I'm just using very small motions in the middle of the bowl to not slop anything anywhere. And as you make those motions, eventually the paste loosens up and the water gets in there. So then you're going to add the remainder of the barbecue sauce ingredients. I'm going to dump them all in there, get them nice and mixed. The nice thing about making your own barbecue sauce is you can control the sugar. Almost every bottled barbecue sauce, the first ingredient is high fructose corn syrup. For those of us who are sensitive to sugar, that does not help the cause. Now, here you see I am using the teaspoon to taste the sauce. If you feel like it needs something else added, like you want more of a smoky flavor or more of a sweet flavor or more of a tangy flavor, add a 1/2 teaspoon of the ingredient you want and then whisk it. And then taste it again. That's how you can really find the barbecue flavor you love without having to have a high sugar barbecue sauce. Then you're going to add the remaining cup of water and whisk until you have the consistency that you want. Next, you're going to spray the crock pot with olive oil. This is an optional step. Then place the chicken thighs into the crock pot. Once you've done that, you're going to pour the barbecue sauce over the chicken thighs and toss with the tongs. After you use the tongs, you're going to wash them because you're going to need those later for the finished product. I know here in the video, I'm not using the tongs, I'm using a spatula, but when I went back to think about it, it's like, tongs would have been a better choice. Close the lid, plug it in, and we're ready to heat. Here we go. Set your crock pot on high heat for 6 hours or low heat for 10 hours. You're going to set a timer or 2 timers. If this is going to be on while you're not at home, or even when you are home, you want to have that end time. Or use my other trick of writing the end time when it's supposed to be finished on a sticky note. After the chicken is finished cooking, turn the crock pot to warm. Finish and serve. Remove the chicken thighs from the crock pot and let them sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. This gives them a chance to cool, and it gives you a lesser chance of burning yourself when shredding the chicken. Here we're going to shred the chicken with 2 forks. As you can see, these thighs are so tender. I'm hardly having to do any work. I'm really just pressing on them and the meat is just falling apart itself. Part of that is because I had left the fat on the chicken, which you can trim the fat if you want, but I find that it will add a lot more flavor. Once you're finished shredding the chicken, you're going to add it back to the crock pot and you're going to mix it with the sauce. To do that, you can either use your tongs or use a mixing spoon. You'll see I have a slotted spoon here. But mix it with the sauce. Remember, your crock pot's already on warm, so it's going to be able to stay in there until you're ready to serve it. When you are ready to serve, you can either make the sliders on individual plates, or I like to put them on a platter and then bring them to the table. You just put, you can see there, it's about maybe a 1/3 cup of meat per slider bun. You don't want to have so much meat that it's dripping out of the sandwich. I don't care for that anyway. I got mixed up in making these of which was the top and which was the bottom. So if you do this assembly line style, it goes much more quickly. And also if you're not trying to do it for a video and a photo shoot. So if you feel like you need more sauce afterwards, you can always take a teaspoon like I'm doing here and add more sauce on the side. So completely your preference. There are barbecue pulled chicken sliders or pulled chicken barbecue sliders. I like it as an alternative to beef. Even if you leave the chicken fat on the thighs, it's still a nice alternative to beef. I promise to let you know if you don't have a crock pot how to do this. A crock pot low setting is 200 degrees and a high setting is 300 degrees. If you're going to use your oven to do this instead of the crock pot, you would put it in a baking dish and cover it with foil for the cooking part. All the other directions would be the same. I hope you give this recipe a try, a new recipe for your repertoire, my Gutsy Cooks. All right, now go get gutsy. If you like this recipe, please subscribe. Thank you for your time and attention. Now go get gutsy.